It's official. The city of Toronto has changed the name of Dundas Square to Sankofa Square. Members of the Ghanaian community came out to celebrate the day, as well as others who were excited about the name change. But there were people who also were not happy about this name change. In this video, I'm going to dive into why this happened, why change the name from Dundas Square to Sankofa Square, what people are thinking, and I want to know what you think.
I think Sankofa is one of those words that when you say it, you know it has significance. You know it has meaning. And so as a Torontonian and as a Ghanaian, I couldn't be more proud to be standing here in Sankofa Square.
I think us as a Black organization, we really want to encourage the diaspora to go home.
That's right.
So for this to be named after somewhere in Ghana, a word in Ghana, and the tourism board to be out here at Sankofa Square, I think it is a great encouragement to the diaspora.
Thank you.
To go home, to see what your roots are. It's great that we built this community here in Canada, and it's beautiful that we can all come together here. But I would love to see our people go home and see where we came from and what they can do back home to even help the community.
That's right. Visit Ghana.
Visit Ghana, center
of the world. And then Ghana also is the gateway to Africa.
Toronto's Yonge and Dundas Square has officially been renamed Sankofa Square. But what's behind the name change? What makes the name Sankofa so meaningful? I have had people sending me messages saying that they've seen the posts about Toronto renaming its Dundas Square to Sankofa Square. For those who don't know, Dundas Square in Toronto is sort of like how Times Square is in New York, but it's much smaller. But Dundas Square is at the heart of the city, and it is where a lot of events happen, a lot of activities, special live performances and whatnot. It's become like a cultural center, a cultural hub. Now, in December 2023, Toronto City Council approved renaming of Dundas Square to Sankofa Square. After more than 2 years of consultation that was led by the Recognition Review Community Advisory Committee, made up of Black and Indigenous leaders and business owners. So they spent 2 years deliberating this before the decision was finally made. Now, the word Sankofa comes from the Twi language of Ghana, and it means go back and get it. And it essentially is about going back to your past in order to learn from the past to move forward and build a better future. So this change is not just cosmetic, it's really about confronting painful legacies, specifically the square's former namesake, Henry Dundas. Now, Dundas was an 18th century Scottish politician who in 1792 used his influence to delay the abolition of the transatlantic slave trade. Now, instead of supporting the immediate abolition, he amended the bill to make it end gradually. So that change actually pushed back the abolition of the slave trade for more than a decade, during which historians estimate that over 500,000 additional Africans were captured and enslaved. And so for a lot of people, his name being on one of Toronto's most visible public spaces felt like it was honoring someone who prolonged slavery and all its atrocities. And that's why there was the push to remove his name, and it kept growing louder and louder. There were people who protested about it, saying that they felt that his name should have been removed. And similar to how you saw in the US that there were a lot of people who were uprising about the fact that certain people have statues, have plaques, have different things honoring them, who have tainted histories, who have done things that were quite racist in the past and have affected how things are in the present. And you saw people toppling down statues and stuff in the US. So similarly in Canada, there has been a call to remove certain names and changing things because of the history of certain people. So the debate was on when it came to Dundas Square and also Dundas Street, which is a major artery, a major road that goes through Toronto all the way into the city of Mississauga. You have Dundas East, West in Toronto, as well as in Mississauga. And so that is another one that has been hotly debated. And this debate has also sparked the whole notion of how we remember history and who we choose to honor, and if removing names is changing the history or removing history entirely? Should we keep these people's names on monuments, on public spaces, on schools, public buildings? Should their names be kept there, even though they may have had a racist past? Some people say that it is a part of history, so they should be kept there, and others say it should be removed. My university was one of the places that a name was changed. My university was Ryerson University in Toronto, Ryerson University, and they've changed the name to Toronto Metropolitan University because Ryerson was known as a person who supported the residential school system in Canada, and that was a school system where they took the Native Indigenous kids out of their family homes and separated them from their families. They brainwashed them, whitewashed them, made them lose their language, made them lose their culture, all in the name of making them more more white. Actually, that's it, plain and simple. So Ryerson was known as somebody who supported that system. So his name was removed off of the university when people were petitioning against it. So that's another example in Canada of a name change that has happened. So the ceremony for renaming Dundas Square happened on August 23rd, which happened to also be the International Day for the Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition. And it was under the theme, Looking Back and Building Forward. It featured Ghanaian cultural performances, art, storytelling, food, and also during the celebrations, we saw people who came in from Ghana, particularly representatives from Ghana Tourism Authority, as well as Ghana's Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, the Honorable Jifa Komeshi, who was there as well, and spoke about how this was such a way to connect Canada and Ghana. It was like a cultural bridge between the two countries, which is pretty significant considering that that Canada recently earlier this year, announced its agenda for Africa and their intentions to have deeper ties with the African continent. So this kind of sort of falls in line with it, with them trying to have some kind of cultural connection, business connection, trade connection, more so with the continent of Africa. It seems everybody wants a piece of Africa now, so it's not surprising. So I wanted to show you some of the visuals of what happened at the ceremony on August 23rd. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but some people sent me some of their footage. Also, there was some footage from Ghana Tourism Authority, and so I wanted to share that with you, so check it out.
Sankofa Square. It's a big deal to the Ghanaian community. It's a big deal to the African in the diaspora. It's a big deal to the Black community in Toronto. This says we are doing very well. We are doing a marvelous work, being a contributors of the economy and also the society to be beautiful. Visit Ghana, the center of the world.
My name is Samantha Summers. I'm the treasurer of the Board of Management of Sankofa Square, and I'm very excited to visit Ghana as soon as I can. Thank you so much for this gift.
I'm Simon, and I'm the vice chair for the Sankofa Board of Management, and thank you also for bestowing this lovely scarf on me, and I also look forward to visiting Ghana, and thank you for having a little bit of Ghana here in Toronto today.
Yes.
Ghana, this is the board of directors for the Sankofa Square. We have the vice president here, and also we have a member of the board. Ghana is going a top-notch higher with our Black Star experience. The Black Star experience is much focused on our heritage, and Sankofa Square also becoming part of our heritage as a people.
It's like on the upper rise, in the eyes of the global vices. So I want you guys also to keep your eyes on this space because there's a lot of Ghanaian events that are going to be coming up, like Taste of Ghana that's happened, and a lot more.
But I got a passport.
That's right.
So I feel like I need to go to Ghana to learn more, but I know why we're here today.
Right.
And that's important because all I know about Ghana is a wonderful principle of Sankofa, which is learning about our past and bringing that into the future to move together.
This is amazing, and it's set in stone. We're making our mark.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great. So we have the passport here. This is your passport.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it tells you everything about that.
Oh, nice.
And then also we have the tourism map.
Okay.
The tourist map. It also takes you to various tourist sites and attractions in Ghana.
Oh, nice.
Tell us about, what do you know about our country, Ghana?
In Ghana, but came at a young age.
Wow.
I came at the age of 5. I've been here almost 40 years.
Wow.
But Ghana is home. Ghana is home. I was there 3 years ago. And I will be there permanently soon. One
Beautiful.
day.
You know,
Ghana
instead
is
of
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's mwah.
wow.
God bless our homeland, you know, make our nation great and strong, bold to behold forever. Shout out Black Star Experience. Shout out to President Mahama for doing such a great job. Everybody that's here, Sankofa Square, receive me. When you see us, you see everything.
Now, for Toronto's Black and Ghanaian Canadian communities, this could be seen as a meaningful step forward. And, representatives from Ghana, spoke about this being a monumental day for the youth, for the future, and it offers hope when it comes to, being proudful of your culture. Now, I have to say that not everyone supports this change. Not everyone is in support of this happening. Now, these are some of the comments about the name change coming from Canadians. There was a poll that showed 71% of Torontonians were actually opposed of the new name, with many saying that it wasn't a priority or that it's too costly to be spending money renaming, getting new signs, making new maps, new transit routes when it comes to Dundas Street. And others argue that instead of erasing names, that the city should add plaques or some kind of context to educate people about the history of Henry Dundas, rather than completely removing his name. What do you think? While Sankofa Square has become a reality because they've done the name change already, the future of Dundas Street itself remains one of the city's continued heated debates, since it hasn't actually happened yet. What do you think? Do you think they should change Dundas Street, or they should leave the name Dundas Street alone now that they've already changed Dundas Square? Now, just a quick reminder that Sankofa Square has a deeper meaning with the name. It's community driven with the vision and reflects Toronto's journey towards a more inclusive, honest future. And it encourages us all, as the name suggests, to always look back to understand and have context and truths about our past in order to move forward and build a better future together. So it's really cool to me to see something from Ghana being named in Canada. But at the same time, I also had my reservations on the name change, I have to admit. Not because I'm in support of Henry Dundas, because obviously I'm not in support of what he did in the past. But what I did think is that, and I know I'm Ghanaian and I have pride in being Ghanaian, but I do think that they should have chosen a native Canadian name. This might be controversial for people to think that I'm saying this, but because I've been quite happy and excited about the name change to Sankofa Square. But at the same time, I do think that the first choice should have been a Native Canadian name. And when I say Native Canadian, I'm talking about the Native Indigenous people of the land of Canada, whose land was stolen from them by the British and the French. So it was their land. And oftentimes when I go to events at Dundas Square, formerly known as Dundas Square, now Sankofa Square, I've been to so many events there. I used to live walking distance from that place. And there have been so many events that have happened over the decades. And recently, whenever they do events, they always say that they want to honor the people whose land that they are on. And they're acknowledging the Native people whose land this was. So I just feel like an Indigenous Native name from Canada, in my opinion, should have been the first choice. But it's Sankofa Square and it is Ghanaian, and I'm excited about that change being a Ghanaian name. What do you think? Do you think that this is good? Do you think the name change is for the betterment of Toronto? Or do you think that it should have been left alone? Or do you think a different name should have been changed? I saw some people on some videos that someone else did interviewing people on the street what they think. And some people were saying they thought it should have been named after Terry Fox, who was a prominent Canadian who ran to raise money in support of cancer research. Someone else said it should have been named after Wayne Gretzky, Canada's famous hockey player. You know, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it should have been renamed? Do you think it should have stayed the same? Or do you have an idea of what you think it should have been called? Put it in the comments. I appreciate you watching this video. Make sure you share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this video with others. And also in the description of this video, you can join the community as a member. You can support the channel. All of the information is in the description. If you're interested in moving to Ghana, there is a book, Your Essential Guide on Moving to Ghana. You can tap the link and get yourself a copy. Thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.